All right, man. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What's up, man? What's up? How y'all doing, man? This is Frequency 1212, otherwise known as Brill on the Beats. You know what I'm saying? I got a very interesting video, man, today. We're going to be doing my first unboxing. I bought a lot of equipment over the years, but this is my first unboxing, and I'm very excited. I got a new piece of equipment that just came in. It is the Roland Integra 7. And as I unbox this Integra 7, I'm gonna give y'all a little story behind my purchase of this Integra 7. And in my opinion of it so far, since I've been researching it online, I have not played one with myself, have not hooked one up myself, but I'm excited, and I'm gonna give y'all the story behind it as we unbox this thing, and as well as I'm gonna give you a tour of my studio. So let's go ahead and do it, man. Let's go ahead and unbox this thing, man. Yeah, I'm very excited. Got my razor knife. Makes it a lot easier. Okay. All right. Let's safely put this razor knife back up. I'm excited. I don't need to be cut. Get cut, right? Got to throw the excitement off. So. All right, got my little invoice thing. By the way, man, shouts out to American Musical Supply. American Musical Supply is a company, man, that a lot of us producers, musicians, songwriters know about, composers, where, man, you can actually go and get musical equipment and make payments on it. They even got credit and everything. So, you know, I didn't have to go and spend a whole, you know, with the tax, 2 racks for this thing. You know, I was able to make payments, like $163 a month. You know what I mean? So you can't beat that, man. And I just, you know, paid my $163 up front, and man, I got this thing, and I paid for the priority mail, and I got this thing in like 2-3 days. So that's incredible. That's incredible. Let me take this razor knife back out. We're gonna cut one more time. One more time. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and just lift this out this box. Break this thing down. Get to the nitty gritty. Throw that box away. That's how we doing it, man. All right, now this thing looks manageable. Now, this is actually a rack mount unit. As you can see, I have a lot of keyboards and controllers and all these things right already. Like this is the Akai Advanced 49. I really liked this thing when I first got it because it allowed me to, when using it with a plug-in mode, it allowed me to pull up all my sounds and preview the sounds. And then we got Machina. Now this is the new Machina, the MK3 controller, but I've been rocking with Machina since they first came out with the MK1. I've retired that since. And since I got the, after I retired the first MK1, I got the Machine Studio. And you can see this thing is a little dusty, but I use it all the time. I love this thing right here. But when I got the Machine, well, I had Machina at first, but when Machina came out with the upgrade to where you could preview the sounds, man, I kind of put my Advanced to the side because Machina was a piece of equipment that I kind of started back off with when I got back into doing music again, because I'm really from the old school music where we didn't have all this stuff. We had the old school stuff. We didn't have all this computerized type of stuff. So I really had to take some time in and learn, you know, this new revolution of how things done, and I got it done. But let's get back to this too. But after that, after I got Machina, for some kind of reason, I always think the only thing I didn't really like Machina is that I had to use it with the computer. And you know, you have to use it with the computer. If this is a controller, but the software is in the computer, and I had a lot of plugins, a lot of different things, and I noticed it would always bog my computer down. And sometimes, and I had an iMac Pro, an iMac, and had it souped up pretty nice, plenty of RAM and everything. But I noticed that every time I really started getting up to a lot of tracks, man, it would bog my computer down and I couldn't really do what I wanted to do. So that inspired me to go hardware again, and then I had got an old school MPC because I used to have one back in the days, a 2500. I think I was able to get a 2000 MPC 2000. I was able to get that used eBay or somewhere like that, and it was a good one. And it inspired me to get back on the MPC because I started out on MPC way back in the 90s. And so then I was away from music for a while, came back to it. And so like I said, it's been a journey, man. It's been a great journey. It's been a fun journey. And me messing with that MPC 2000, you know, made me want to look, well, do they have anything newer that can kind of, you know, still give me that same feel? Because there's a lot of trap music out here right now, you know, and the trap music, I like it, you know. And somebody told me a while back, they said, man, listen, you want to make music, the type of music that you like to hear. And I like to hear trap. So, you know what, I started making trap, my version of it, you know what I mean? And as well as other genres. And it's been real fun. So I got the MP, I had the MP 2000, and then I did some research and I found out they was coming out with this. And I was real excited about the MPC X. This is the big boy, the MPC X. And I love this thing right here. This thing is badass. Let me tell you that. But the only limitations that I didn't like about the MPC, because I wanted a standalone unit, something that had cords in the back. You know what I'm saying? If you look back here, there are plenty of cords coming out of here. I wanted something with cords because I come from the old school where, you know, we had boards, we had drum machines like the MPC. Back in the days, I had a Mackie board and stuff like that. And I just love the sound. And, you know, but lately, you know, the last few years, I got all these plugins and I'm using it, and they sound good, you know, coming out these speakers. I started off with these Rockets, with these KRKs, and then I upgraded after a while, and I got these Yamahas. I love these Yamahas. These Yamahas sound real nice. And I got the sub down here with it. If you can see the sub down there, there's a lot of cords down there, excuse me, y'all. But that's what it's gonna look like in the studio. So anyway, let's get back to the story, the unboxing, and what this video really started about, okay? It started about this thing right here. This Roland Integra 7. But let me just give you the background story, just to make this thing a little interesting, about how I came about this Roland Integra 7. It came about from this. Y'all look close. You see that right there? That right there is a Roland XV. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there we go. A Roland XV 5080. And this is a old school sound module. I think this thing came out in 1994 or something like that. So y'all get a chance to see a little bit more stuff that, you know, that I work with. You know, that's a CD recorder down there in case I want to record something straight to CD, straight off my board. And you see that Studio Live RM32 mixer. So I got all my sounds, my analog sounds with my outdoor gear going into that. And this is the controller for it. This is the Studio One, PreSonus Studio One CS18AI. So this is a controller for that 32 channel mixer. And it does have software, but I don't even use the software. I don't even think I ever even downloaded it because I have the controller. And I also like to use PreSonus Studio One. Studio One 3.5, or I got 4.0 now, or whatever the case may be. They keep upgrading this. I think it's 4.5 by now. I made this video. But anyway, I like that DAW. So I got this to be able to get 3 purposes out of it. To have something to plug my MPC and any kind of outboard hard gear that I got. And to do that, but also I know that it would be a controller to control my DAW, and it's fully automated. It's got motorized faders and all that type of stuff, so it's real slick. But let's get back to this Roland XV5080. So I went to Guitar Center, Sam Ash, one of them stores, I can't remember. And I was in there and I was thinking about, I wanted a synthesizer or outboard gear, a module, because I ain't got but so much room. This is actually, used to be a bedroom in my house, and I turned it into a studio. As you can see, I actually tricked out the closet door and I put a soundproof booth in here. So as y'all can see, so artists can come in here and it's really quiet, which is great. But this is just a bedroom. Only thing I haven't did in here is treat my walls. And I really do. And I've been saying I was going to do it for a few years and I still haven't gotten around to it too. But I mix with my headphones, so that can help me out a little bit. But yes, y'all, I can't make no excuses for not having the walls treated. That just doesn't make any sense. But let's keep going. So I got this Roland 5080, and it was used. I think I got it at a decent price. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it had some glitches. It didn't work quite right, and it still don't work quite right. But what happened was, about 2 weeks ago, my computer went down. If y'all look over here, I would normally have an iMac sitting right there. Just pretty. That monitor I don't even use, but I'm about to start back using it. But I had an iMac sitting right there, real pretty. Actually, it was a 2011 iMac, and I liked the iMac because that iMac allowed me to put 3 SSD hard drives internally into it. And it had all the ports in the back, Firewire ports, Thunderbolt ports. So I really love that model. But what happens with these iMacs, at least the old ones, I think the new ones, they didn't kind of solve the problem, but they get so hot. When you start running them for hours and stuff, they get so hot because there's not really much room to breathe. It's encased. And so what happens is it gets hot and the circuit board fries out. So I fried out 2 iMacs. One was a 2012, one was a 2011. I like the older ones better than the new ones, except for the new iMac Pros that just came out. They're pretty awesome from the specs and things I've looked at. So anyway, let's get back to this thing. So this Roland, this Roland wasn't working correctly. So I put it up in the closet. I had it in my rack, but I didn't turn it on. And I kind of bought this if you see this tube tube Opto 8. I bought this thing right here. It can come in, with 8 channels. But I bought this thing because, actually 16 channels. No, yeah, 8 channels. 8 channels. 8 channels because I thought when I first bought this Roland, it sounded a little crisp, like too crisp, too much highs. So I bought that to warm it up, and it sounds great. I mean, this thing sounds awesome. When I tell you this thing sounds awesome, it really, and to get back to the story, what happened, my computer went down and I burnt that thing out, and so I didn't have no computer. But I didn't need a computer to continue to make beats. I couldn't do no more recording, but I can continue to make beats because I got this, and it's a standalone unit. That's what I love about this MPC-X. It's standalone. You don't need no computer at all. And so what that allowed me to do was, but the bad thing, like Machina, I can't even use my Machina right now at all because I ain't got my computer back yet. I was supposed to get it back today, not my old computer, because I said, you know what? I'm not even going with the iMac no more. I done burnt out 2. So I had someone build me a computer, and when I get it, I should be having it today. He might be knocking on the door at any time. I'm actually waiting for him to come, and I'll get back with y'all and I'll show y'all what I got now. But he says it's bigger, faster, stronger. I can build it more, and most importantly, it has the exhaust. It can stay cool and it won't burn itself out. So that's going to be great. Okay, so when my computer went down, I was like, oh man, I can't. I'm bored. I got customers. I got guys. They want beats. They want to buy beats. They want to record. I don't want to get rusty. I'm on a roll right now. I've been making a lot of hot stuff. And I was like, oh, I forgot. I got my Roland 5080 down here. that I ain't been had on in months. You know, I already got a template that I already made for my MPC X to where I can just go up on the tracks, and I already got my MIDI channel set up and everything. You know, so when I first got it, I set all that stuff up and I was going to really use this thing. But, you know, like I said, it don't work all the way right. There's some glitches in this. It's old. It needs to be worked on. So, lately, in the last 2 weeks since my computer's been gone, you know, I said, you know, I'm going to turn this thing back on and see what I can do, you know. And I started and I turned it on, and first I was, you know, I didn't really know how to work it. You know what I mean? I didn't really, I had got the user's manual. I downloaded it online and I looked at the user's manual, but you know, I didn't really take enough time because the way it was just, I didn't take enough time to really know what I was doing with this darn thing. And so when I sat down for the last week and a half playing with it, really playing with it, playing with the controls, playing with the MIDI controllers, you know, playing with, you know, the volumes and playing, just really going through it and understanding how it really works, how the effects works and everything. I was mind blown. I was able to turn the thing up, you know what I mean, turn certain things down. I was able to get the sound out of it, and the sounds are huge. It really took me back to old school and really took me back to really understand why I was even searching for something like this from the first place, and why I went with the MPC, with the analog chords and all of that. Because trust me, man, I've spent thousands of dollars on plugins. You keep spending all this money on all these different plugins, and they make great music. I made some dope beats with some plugins. But man, that shit just does not sound like this. It does not sound like with these chords, man. There's something about these chords, the frequency, because this is the way that the music was really intended to be transferred and then put on really vinyl. Because vinyl is carbon. Vinyl is organic. Vinyl is something that's going to do something different to your spirit. It's very metaphysical. So now let's get back to current day. So when I'm messing with this, and you know, the thing that's glitchy about it, you know, I would make a pattern or sequence, and then, you know, I would copy it over and do some changes or add some things. But then when I went back to the other sequence, it would be slow, it would drag, but something's wrong with it, like the first note or two. So I was like, you know what? Damn, this thing is bad, but it's limiting me because it's something wrong with it. So I said, you know, let me go online and let me go and research and see if it's anything like this. So I love this Roland sound, and it took me back to when back in the days when the first drum machine I had was a Roland R70. Man, because people don't really understand that Roland was the first one who came out with the 808. The Roland 808. That's who came out with it. So Roland always had the fat drum machines, the bad drum machines. They always had the nice sound. But man, when I really sit down and really start playing this thing, I said, whoa, these sounds are so big. It made my whole house shake. So I went online and I was searching, and then the Roland Integra 7 came right up. And when I went and I started researching what is this Roland Integra 7, it showed me that it had all the sounds of this XV5080 was all in it, and then all the Juno, the 80s, the 50, all these different synthesizers that they came out with them in the last, 20 years, all of them are tied into this. All of them are contained in this. So I said, what? Now I did hear a comparison of the 5080 versus the Integra. And now the Integra 7 has all these sounds in it now, but to me, the 5080 sounded warmer. The Integra 7 sounded a bit more clean, more digital, in my opinion. But now I haven't heard it in my studio and have those two versus each other. And it's gonna be sad that I'm not gonna be able to compare both of them simultaneously. Maybe one day I would put both of them and I would do my own sound test, and run them both through the board and do all this and do all that. But to be honest, I don't have the extra cables. I don't think. And I don't feel like going to buy them. And this thing ain't working correctly. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm about to take this out, put this Integra 7 in its place, take the cords, plug them all right in. I already got the presets and everything set up for this. So I know it's going to work for that because I'm using straight old school MIDI. Now this Integra 7 from my research, let's go ahead and take this thing out the box, man. I've been talking a whole lot and we ain't even took it out the box yet. That's how excited I am about this thing, man. Take this thing out the box, man. Y'all excuse me, man. Y'all excuse this video, man. Y'all excuse all this shaking and stuff, man. But look at that right there. Look at that. Look at that. I can't even get it out the box, y'all. I can't get it out the box. Can't even get it out. I'm holding this camera to this iPad Pro. Shouts out to Apple. I love that iPad Pro. I can't be disappointed on that. But look at that right there. There it go, y'all. Look at that right there, that Roland Integra 7 with the supernatural sounds. Oh my God, it's over 6,000 and something sounds in this thing. And look how simplistic it is. Look at that, we got a USB memory slot on the front. We have 2 inputs. From my research, you can actually take other sounds and input them through there and actually be able to take it through the surround sound, because they got a 5.1 surround sound system where you can move the sounds around, you know, in a 3-dimensional space, you know, putting them not only just left and right, but up and down, you know what I mean? And so other engineers know what I'm talking about. And then what else we got on the front? So we just got the mute, expansions, edit right, you know, little simple stuff, got a little toggle wheel. You know, you got your part views. Now this thing right here, from my research, you got 16, you can run 16 MIDI channels or 16 sounds out of this thing at one time. Now, this one right here, the 5080, you can actually do 32 sounds out of this thing at one time. Crazy. The amount of polyphony and stuff that you can do with this thing. But this thing, now let's turn it over. Turn it over. Let's take a look. Try to protect it from messing up anything on the front. Okay, let's take a look at this. So this is what I was excited about too, is the outputs. You got the A, B, C, D. You see what I'm saying? So that right there is 8 outputs by itself. But then it has these bottom ones that are like main outs. Okay, then you got other inputs on the back, and then you got your MIDI, in, out, and through. I'll be using those. Then you got your USB to your computer. Okay. So I don't know if I'll be using that, but I guess I will. That way I can get full functionality. I'm just turning this back around so we're not sitting on the dials. There we go. All right, y'all, man. This is the unboxing of this thing. I'm excited about it. You're gonna see me, you know, doing some future videos. But another future video that I'm gonna come out with, and I'm gonna talk about a little bit briefly. I'm gonna give y'all a real Machina, Native Instruments Machina versus MPCX. I'm gonna give y'all that. But I'm gonna give y'all a little hint first. How about I use both of them together? And I have the MPCX in standalone mode using Machina. All the sounds. Being able to preview all my sounds, because everything is loaded in Machina. Machina pull up everything. Any kind of plug-in. Oh, well, I gotta point at Machina, man. Machina can pull up any plugins. It can pull up any plug-in instruments as well as effects. And this thing is sick. So I figured out a way. It took me some time, but I figured out a way where I can sequence with this, because I love the sequencing here. I ain't gonna get too much in this video, but let me say something real quick. I don't like the sequencer in Machina as much. I've made some dope songs with this, don't get me wrong. I don't like it as much. But I love the sequencer in the MPC X. I love this sequencer. It is tight. When I tell you you can do some real trap music or any kind of music with this, it is tight. Because you're not hooked to the computer. You're not using any computer resources. There's no lag. There's no latency or nothing. You can have 1,000 instruments playing at the same time, and this thing will keep up and will not miss at all. But boy, I love playing this thing right here. Really my machine studio. Because my machine studio, I'm used to playing this a lot more. Like I said, I can't really definitively give y'all a full review on a Machina MK3 because I've had it for several months now, but I just haven't gotten into it that much. I play it, I mess around with it, but I just haven't messed around with it that much. My computer was sitting right here, which the screen is an iMac, so it's, I'm looking right here. I was using this. It's got a hell of a controller in it where I can control my DAW also. So I'm doing this and I could spin right here and, play this and mess with my board at the same time. And oh yeah, we're gonna talk about, I got an Apollo. I love this thing. This Apollo Twin. You talking about universal audio, you talking about professional sound. Everybody needs that. Oh, and this is a lapidolite. This right here helps with energy. These low, what they call low emitting frequencies. All these things that from these electronics, they hurt your body. So you want to keep some of those things, and they help to soak up that negative energy that you don't want hitting your body. Well, I ain't gonna make this video too much longer, man. Y'all see what I'm working with. I got a little pad over here, a little MIDI pad that allows me to play, drums and, rolls and stuff like that. Something to really have fun with too. Last but not least, I didn't talk about this. This is the Akai keyboard, the professional MPK 61. I love this keyboard. I love how it feels. I love how the keys feel. They got good response. You got everything you can imagine that you can control as far as sliders, programming any of these buttons to do what you wanted to do, twist them as far as effects and stuff. You can program anything and do anything. And then it has the, the typical Akai pads, almost like the MPC pads. They have that, and then they have the arpeggiator, all that stuff that is in here. So this thing right here will actually kind of set you up on an MPC path if that's what you want. But now, with this new Integra 7 that I got, I'm thinking about actually purchasing the Roland A49 controller also, and I think it's like about $200 or less. For that price, man, I think I really need that in my life because it's already set up for this thing. All the controls and everything is already set up. Now, I don't know, I haven't hooked it up yet. Maybe it's set up to where, when I just play with it and push a few things, my mod wheel and all that, it'll do the same thing that I saw the A49 do, but maybe not. But I'm gonna keep this because I love this thing. I don't know where, I don't even have space for the A49 right yet, but I probably will put it right here because I haven't touched this Advanced 49 in a minute. When I tell you a minute, I probably ain't touching it over a year and a half. Once Machina came out with their update and allowed me to preview my sounds, I didn't have no use for it no more. Just to be honest. So now y'all seen a little preview. You got a little bit of information on how some of these things work. Audio engineering is very fun. It can be very tedious. But it's something, man, especially during this time of COVID and all these things, man. This is the time to be in the dungeon, man. I'm in the dungeon, my dudes. You know what I'm saying? I'm in here cooking. I'm talking about cooking up. You see, I got all the metaphysical things going on. Eye of Horus and these type of things. Sri Yantra. You got the Merkaba or Metatron's cube. You got, oh wow. Sorry about that. My iPad stand kind of fell back on me. Yeah, I got this Flower of Life thing up here, and then I got my man over here. He's pretty cool. You know, he's got the little Merkaba on his, you know what I'm saying? You know, things for energy, man. I'm into energy. You know, frequency 1212. You know what I'm saying? Brill on the beats, man. I got so many sides and facets to myself. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just bringing y'all a little bit of my world. My computer coming. It is going to be a desktop, so I'm going to this monitor come back in handy. That's been sitting up here forever that I ain't never did nothing with in years. But y'all see everything, man. Backup hard drives, something like that. Backup hard drives, SSDs. You know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff, man. You know, USB hubs everywhere. This is the life of a music producer, man. This is what we do. This is what you're going to see in a typical home studio. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to open me a studio downtown in Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? So people can come in there and people don't necessarily have to come to my house. You know, and that's cool. So, you know, we doing big things, man. It's 2020. Some people going to sit back and be scared and not move forward and don't continue to live their dreams and don't continue to manifest, you know, what is in their heart and their desires, their higher purposes. And then you're going to have people like me. You know what I'm saying? People like the ones who are like me. You know, I got a little tuner over there. You know, you need a tuner, you know. So you're going to have people like me that don't sit back. We ain't waiting for nothing. You know what I'm saying? We creating what we want to create through our imagination, through our mind, and through, you know, putting action towards, you know, our knowledge to create wisdom, man. That's what we doing. So, man, I'm going to get on up out of here, man. Frequency 1212, Brill on the beats, whatever y'all want to call me. I am 12, I am 1, I am 3. I am 3, I am 1, I am 12, I am all that, man. I don't even got no name, you know what I'm saying? I'm cosmic, multi-dimensional, you know what I'm saying? But this is what we making, multi-dimensional music. I do music in different frequencies and things, so, you know, check me out. I'm very interested in what I do. I got my own style, but I don't make corny beats, period. You're not gonna hear no corny beat from me. I don't make corny beats. So, man, holla at me. 1.